Hello everyone, welcome to NCERT 6 to 10 class in short. Today we will be discussing the second part of the first chapter of grade 6 Civics, Understanding Diversity. In the last class we have discussed about how people differ from each other, about inequality, about caste system, and about diversity in India and what are the things that led to diversity like travel, history, geographical area and lifestyles. Today we will be discussing about Ladakh and Kerala first. See the position of Ladakh and Kerala. Ladakh is the northernmost part while Kerala is the southernmost part of India. Let's begin with Ladakh. Ladakh is a desert in the mountain in the east of Jammu and Kashmir. Very little agriculture is possible here since this region receives no rain throughout the year and is covered in snow for a large part of the year. There are very few trees that can grow in the region. For drinking water, people depend on melting snow during the summer months. People here keep sheep and goats. The goat in this region are special because they produce pashmina wool. This wool is prized and pashmina shawls cost a lot of money. The people in Ladakh carefully collect the wool of the goats and sell this to traders from Kashmir. Pashmina shawls are chiefly woven in Kashmir. The people eat meat and milk products like cheese and butter. Each family owns some goats, cows and dizos. Dizos means yak cows. Being a desert did not mean that Ladakh did not attract traders. It was considered a good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans traveled to what is today called Tibet. These caravans carried textiles and spices, raw silk and carpets. Buddhism reached Tibet via Ladakh. Ladakh is also called Little Tibet. Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago and there is a significant Muslim population here. Ladakh has a rich oral tradition of songs and poems. Local versions of the Tibetan national epic, the Kesar Saga, are performed and sung by both Muslims and Buddhists. Now about Kerala. Kerala is a state in the southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other. Several spices like pepper, cloves and cardamoms are grown on the hills. It is the spices that made this land an attractive region for traders. Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here. The apostle of Christ, St. Thomas, is believed to have come here nearly 2000 years ago and he is credited with bringing Christianity to India. Many Arab traders also came and settled down here. Ibn Battuta, who travelled here less than 700 years ago, wrote a travelogue in which he describes the lives of Muslims and says that they were a highly respected community. The Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. Because of all these various historical influences, people in Kerala practice different religions such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism and Buddhism. Besides, Sikhism and Jainism can also be seen in Kerala. The fishing nets used here exactly look like the Chinese fishing nets and are called chinavala. Even the utensil used for frying is called the chinachatti and it is believed that the word chin could have come from China. The fertile land and climate are suited for growing rice and a majority of people eat rice, fish and vegetables in Kerala. Now when we are comparing Ladakh and Kerala, as we already know, Ladakh is the northernmost and Kerala is the southernmost. Ladakh is a desert that is surrounded by mountains while Kerala is surrounded by sea at one side and hills at the another side. So such geographical differences are there. But the history of both regions has seen similar cultural influences. That is, both the regions were influenced by Chinese and Arab traders. It was the geography of Kerala which allowed the cultivation of spices and the special geographical location of Ladakh and its wool that drew traders to these regions. So it was the way by which cultural diversity was generated in the past. But the influence of diverse cultures is not merely a thing of the past. Our present lives are all about moving from place to place for work, and with each move, our cultural traditions and way of life slowly become part of life where we are in. In our neighborhood too, we live close to people with different communities. Our daily lives are about how we do things together and hear stories about each other's lives and customs and traditions. Now let's talk about unity in diversity. We all know the term unity in diversity and we are using it commonly. It was Jawaharlal Nehru who described the term unity in diversity for the first time to describe the country. India's diversity has always been recognized as a source of its strength. When British ruled India, men and women from different cultural, religious and regional backgrounds came together to oppose them. India's freedom movements had thousands of people from different backgrounds in it. They worked to take joint decisions, they went to jail together and they found different ways to oppose the British. Interestingly, the British thought that they could divide Indians because they were so different and they continued to rule them. But the people showed how could be different and yet be united in the fight against the British. And thus the term unity in diversity became the core part of India's strength. Songs and symbols of India, the national flag and the national anthem that emerged during the freedom struggle serve as a constant reminder of our country's rich tradition of respect for diversity. In his autobiography, The Discovery of India, Jawaharlal Nehru says about the Indian unity like this: Indian unity is not something imposed from outside, but rather it was something deeper and within its fold. The wildest tolerance of belief and custom was practiced and every variety acknowledged and even encouraged. And hence we can proudly say that India's unity, even in diversity, has gained attention and recognition all over the world. So that's the end of our chapter. Happy Independence Day to all in advance. So we will be discussing the question and answer in the next video. Until then, bye.